IG had for top esports with some of their laners not really performing. Well, now you have decent matchups in almost every single one of these lanes, and I'm expecting not only Cream and 369 to step up, but Nio on this Pantheon to have a huge influence with him in the mid jungle. Rub spawning in 2.5 minutes.
Good little charm combo there from Cream. Is going to force Rookie out of lane. Has that ultimate advantage pressure. Here comes Way, though. No cease and desist. 369 has everything available to him. Public Execution is going to whiff. Good flash there from Way to make sure that doesn't come across. But Sobero takes up a huge amount of the aggro. Way's dead. One more turret shot, and he's going to trade it. 369 makes it pay for IG's first blood take.
It's embarrassing. Yeah, Nio will get the dragon. So while that first blood gold is going to feel nice for Invictus Gaming, I think the fact that he was able to outplay that.
Execution, especially on these junglers, for any sort of big plays. Good to see Way, though, out on the map first, and he's even looking for more here to catch Cream over the wall. Cease and desist, Vault Breaker, Seismic Shove, all this is thrown down, but Cream still walks out. Cleanse from Rookie, flashes away from Nio's chain. Way looking for a Vault Breaker reset. The Weaver's Wall going to make sure Nio has no room for escape. Nice little play there from Rookie to make sure IG's mid-jungle duo comes out on top.
Grabbing 2 grubs at least for himself.
Ooh, the 1 HP smite coming out there from Way just to secure it. Nio walks himself back in, but Way sees a double stun combination. There's the Velvet Carpet layer down by Sobero. But Nio kind of just shrugs off a lot of this damage. So a huge amount of usage from summoners and ultimates coming down there from IG just to secure these grubs. Public Execution re-engage comes across the 369. Sobero's fine to engage until he sees Nio fly on in. He has to flash away from the Grand Starfall.
Cream.
And Sobero should be able to run out, so Cream comes over the wall, hits a clutch charm, and finally secures the kill the top esports were looking for.
These grubs and trying to make good on at least another mid lane plate here. Maybe Way just re-engages.
Cease and desist, and Io does get the grub, but Rookie can't get over the wall to secure enough damage, so Way's going to have to get it done on his own. Nice little 3-piece combo. Way gets the kill.
Maybe we still make this play. I mean, Rookie has ultimate. The bot lane is getting shoved in. This is kind of your angle to look for here. Rookie's going to try and find Nio. Doesn't land anything. This is a huge investment here for IG. The longer they stay here, the less possible it is for them to contest for that upcoming dragon.
I do like the look, though, with Sobero's pressure he has in the top lane. They're going to try and steal away this blue buff. 369 TP's back in here, though. Going 1 versus 3 for the time being. He walks right to a cease and desist some combo. 369? What was that?
Enough response, but now you've lost all control on top side. They may even be potentially setting up a dive here on Nio underneath this turret. There's no TP available. Cream would have to use his to get here in time.
Hey, remember when we thought we were splitting the map level 1? Nah, we're doing it into the mid-game. Perfect setup from Jouet into another Rookie Seismic Shove, and Nio doesn't even get up the unbreakable wall. Another kill for IG. What a gold injection. We'll see if they can trade that first turret back. Should be able to, so they'll come away with at least 1,000 gold lead moving into our mid-game.
They'll have TPs to share. I'm really looking at Cream getting level 10 on this next wave.
He really wants to mess with the level 11 Rumble right now, so that kind of big win con you felt was opening up there, Dimitri, is going to slam. His door's going to be slammed shut. Fangway goes after Rookie. Flash for flash trade. Still should be the dragon secured here, though, for IG. And we even up at 1 apiece with an Ocean Soul on tap for our game 1.
What else can we get from this, though? I mean, Flash coming in from Talia is not bad. Now we even got the TP from Saboro. I think that is okay. It is worth it for the dragon, I will mention. As with 369 making a pretty weird play in top lane is the way that I will describe with that teleport. Now it's gonna that's the payment. He gave up his teleport and lost his life and had to give up his turret and the dragon, but now they can play with a little bit of priority potentially for the grubs here.
Rookie flings Nio into the turret, but it just doesn't matter. He was half HP.
Potentially Nio getting taken out. Cream has no mana here. He is so useless in this fight.
Flashes away from Jouet's crash down. Fengway's going to try to provide some path to least resistance out. Magnet Storm comes down, and support should just have to pay their life with Photic coming across their keeper's verdict, though. Is going to be spell shielded by Photic. Bullet time from Jachi. Gets a ton of damage back out. Jouet flashes away. And with all of those ults, so much thrown down, it's actually only going to be top esports' support seeing the gray screen. Public execution on the top side, though. 369 wants to throw hands with Sobero, mainly because he's getting help teleporting behind him. But there comes the Velvet Corporate out from Sobero. Good flash from 369, and now, well, It's Cream to try and clean up here. Flash over the wall, though. They didn't expect Sobro to throw back his hands, and he gets the trade 1-for-1. So both of our top laners outplaying 1v2s in this game 1 so far.
The guy is dead. So very clutch play. We come out of replay, and Feng is dead now. So top esports, I need to see your solo lanes gathering gold at this point in the side lane, but Saburo is showing up for team fights, and IG are just making picks.
And Nayo's just getting caught in his own jungle. Yep, the cease and desist seismic shove, all reliable for IG. Gets themselves another kill, and
times just trying to allocate gold into the side lanes, trying to get himself back into this game, but the pretty big detriment now as IG find themselves with a 2,000 gold lead, and you at least took one of the dragons. You're set up to play for that next dragon coming up in a minute.
He didn't get the eye, and he's not even going to be able to sacrifice himself for it. Oh, man. You know what stings the most, Hulk?
If TES cannot either grab 3 plates on this top side or do something about this Rumble, you are in a great position as Invictus Gaming.
Yeah, and looking back at this, at this draft as well, I feel like, oh, hold on. We got the equalizer down. Subro's just running down 369. Vault breaker over the wall. Way here to team up with his new look top laner, and the disappointing game for 369 only continues to get worse.
They're putting Vision down on top side because there's a Baron here. If they can try to get a little bit more pressure up here, maybe if they find a pick somewhere around this mid lane, it could start off a chain of events.
Starfall. Nayo, I assume, is playing the stall game, or he just ulted down here to get Sobro off the wave. He doesn't actually think he can take him on his own, but he's bought enough time for Jachi to swing on over and get a very big gold influx.
With such a big lead, I'm expecting for him to be able to move his weight around the map, but Misfortune can be tricky in team fights.
Oh, certainly very tricky, especially if his support gets dropped off. Fengwei out of about half HP. Cream gets a good charm on a Rookie, though. Fengwei goes right after Rookie, but he cleanses, flashes out, bullet time. Not going to find its mark. It allows Foden to pick up the first kill. Wei flashes right on top of that. Misfortune, who gets bouncy house out of the team fight just like that. Foden picks up a double kill. Looking for a throw with the bouncing blades. Wei picks it up 369 into the background, trying to find himself some sort of trade. He's only going to find Jue and find a one-way ticket straight back to the fountain. We get a quadra kill for Photic as IG have broken open our initial game.
Massive plays coming in, a huge find yet again from Invictus Gaming onto Feng, and once that's there, the numbers advantage goes over to them, and that fight, I really want to go back into it because I think Cream missed a fair too much of his abilities.
Things that I missed.
That's why I have to see it, everybody else does.
Yeah, you know what, you're right. I missed that one, and normally I miss things that you point out in the replays, and I go, or as we get into this Baron power play push, it's the 3-man squad. Oh, with Wei looming on over, they have targeted this bottom lane tier 2 turret. Ricky's going to throw down the Weaver's wall. There's cease and desist engage onto Fengwei. They send public execution in the back cloud to see if they can find a train. Jachi does a whole lot of damage. TP comes across from Cream. Here comes the rescue right on call when we were looking for more for Cream. He makes a clutch TP to ruin this Baron plate. He's looking for more. Saburo is charmed up. There's a Grand Starfall coming over top. This is a very dark pit outside that one ward. Can't see the HP on the Dragon if you are top esports, so they're going to give over Ocean Soul Point. Do they gain anything off the back of it? It really doesn't seem like it.
We need to be very careful about what we're doing here in the river.
Oh, there's a good steadfast presence. Cancel out the Vault Breaker, but he whiffs the Keeper's Verdict. Fengwei is going to go down. Photic picks up that kill with the On the Hunt speed up. Support out for top esports. Do IG over chase a bit? They feel like they might have an angle to get rid of Nayo.
Oh!
That would secure the Baron, but Cream, he uses that Spirit Rush, so he's got 2 charges down. Team fights. It's what's making for maybe some of these interesting plays is right on cue, Wei is looking for a pickoff onto 369. There is no public execution. Comes up in 5 mere seconds. The equalizer's up first. He flashes away. He's trying to spy time because Nayo comes through the Grand Starfall. Cream is going to TP in behind just in time. Rookie is able to trade out top laner for top laner. As their AD carries go brawl for brawl. Jachi finds his win, and that might be just enough to push this fight over the edge for top esports. Wei Xie comes back up and Twig gets a huge crash down Magnet Storm, but Nayo's still alive. They allow Wei to escape though. It's got to be Jachi who finally lays down the bullet time. It separates Rookie off the rest of his team, but he takes Nayo down with him, flashes away from Cream. Can Cream chase him down with the Firefox Fangs? Yes, he can. Another bloody bout between top esports and IG as just a couple of members limping away. Find a way into the back line. Nonetheless, they have procced the Dragon first.
Sobro
is spotted on this flank, but they're not really reacting to it. it just yet. He's going to throw down the equalizer. That kind of traps the escape point, sets up for this Weaver's Wall that puts Fogway on the wrong side. Nayo's also trapped against it. Who gets the dragon? It's picked up by Jachi, so there's no Ocean Soul. Sobero runs into the backline with the Flame Splitter. Wei's able to pop the GA off of Photic. Photic's now able to step on with Jachi coming back alive, but the bullet time is canceled by a golden rookie seismic shove. No soul to IG. They'll take the fight instead.
That's still gold going over to top Esports, but this is going to be a Baron. You have this Sivir. They should be able to grab this objective for themselves. An incredibly close game here as top Esports might be fighting back after a disastrous start to the season. We thought it was all hope lost for them.
Fortune, there's not a lot of that as well, but he saves them an Ocean Soul with one double tap and has been able to find consistently clutch kills to keep this game within arm's reach. As we are now back to another IG Baron power play, and funnily enough, the camera pans right over Ulk to the very turret that ruined their demise last time, as 369 trades the mirrored version on the top side. Cream nearly gets found by Rookie. 369 rejoins to try and protect this inhibitor turret. Both mid laners not going to have access to their ultimates going forward, as we're bringing everybody down here.
Whoa, this is a lot of our TP usage here. Saburo back to get back into this lane. 369, I thought there was going to be an immediate play. They still have these teleport shields. That's 30% of their max HP for 30 seconds. Dre tries to look for something. Sobero, I mean, this ultimate is going to be massive if he gets it on any members of top Esports.
He's looking. He's off of vision. Nayo's Grand Starfall. Way goes in. Finds the cease and desist to layer the equalizer. They knock Jachi out of his bullet time. Photic is able to stave off 369 on the backside. His Way comes back alive. But 369 gets himself out. He doesn't fall to Photic. And now IG are cornered 5 versus 3. They like their health bars, but there goes Nayo, and he still gets stunned up by the Unraveled Earth. Everything's flying all over the place as Jachi finds Photic. Rookie goes golden. Jachi's trying to find the highlight moment. And he's gonna do it with a pentakill to win game 1 for top Esports.
Season here, Jachi and unlikely top Esports have just found a way to come back from an almost lost game versus IG.
Some people were calling top Esports' gameplay to start 2026 as some of the ugliest we've had. So you ask, who would be there to try and rescue it for them? But I don't think we're going to have a real big conclusion to this game anytime soon. IG, recognizing how much they're on the back foot with wave states, are going to give over our 6th dragon of the game. Oh my god, Jachi, no. Jachi, no!
A lot of damage.
Jachi, don't fall into the GA. Oh, he has to burn his flash, but the equalizer pops it. The hero of the last fight makes a huge blunder, and IG look to capitalize as Dway goes to the engage into 3. Rookie uses the Weaver's Wall to rejoin up. Dway is going to go down. There's the bullet time from Jachi. Forces out the Zanyas from Sobero, but Jachi gets out with his health bar intact, and 369 gets to run wild. Jachi may have overstepped, but it's his team that picks him back up. And all they have to do is knock down one measly Sivir. That's it. Done and dusted. Jachi quadra kill. Top Esports up 1-0 in this big-time bout.
2 Barons here for IG, and in both of them, they had negative power plays for them. They had negative net gold gained during that time. They lost on the top side. They lost on the bottom side. What was a completely one game here for IG in the mid game has completely shattered and completely collapsed now as top Esports, again, finally are able to end this game 1.
We had the 19-kill Elk performance, Gala pentakill Yunara, and now Jachi 15-kill Misfortune.
He throws out a dredge line, he throws out an ultimate, and suddenly your LeBlanc is locked down. They at least have some ways of stopping this champion from just distorting all around Summoner's Rift.
Yep.
But the range damage that they do have access to is only in Azir and Jhin. They can't fight here. Again, mid lane waves, priority. It's kind of what all of pro play is about. You say mid lane quest is fake, but if I'm Cream and I get the upgraded Hole Crushers, the game is way easier to play versus Rookie in a side lane. And who else is really going to match you as Azir? So
true.
I'm liking this right now for top Esports, and they talked about the clock already, so I won't mention too much after. Rubs for this IG team does feel nice. I think taking away what could be more gold being generated by this Azir later on is always going to be a good game plan.
So just in layman's terms here, in about 8.5 minutes. We've got, oh no,
Objective
are we doing this again? We did this all of last game. Our 80 carries are going melee range. Unfortunately, this time for Jacci, the Corki likes those odds. Out of mana though, Jacci, we're just gonna, ult under turret. All right, Photic, how much dodging can you do? Oh my god, oh! Did the minion get that kill for him? It's first blood nonetheless. Back. I don't think he necessarily had to. Top Esports have control. It's Way that has to find a way to break down the door and push on into this Drake that is going to take it precariously slow. Rookie is in a nice position to chunk out 369, forces the Dominus out a bit early.
That's good.
So that's a good win, but I don't see this Dragon in Way's future, so Top Esports as a 4-stack will even out our Drakes one apiece. Jway, this is not an engage angle until the Deadly Flourish does go wide. Fongway is getting jumped on. There's the Cyclone drop down. Photic should have enough damage. Way picks up that first kill. Nio looking for a trade as they have Cream over the wall. Chasing down with that Trundle ultimate.
God.
Rookie coming over as Dre gets a double knockup. Going after Jacci. There's the LeBlanc damage. Cream throws Photic into his 80 carry and is able to set up the kill for IG. That was not the Emperor's Divide you wanted to see, Top Esports.
Do they try to make a play onto Soboro? I mean, Subjugate is good. It's gold into Cream's pocket, which is way more important. Level 11 is going to be hit here for him after he finishes this wave. Maybe just even cutting Saboro off of this entire wave, and this turret is decent enough, but Jway's going to be at least here to somewhat even the odds.
369 TP'd up here, right? So he gets that shield. He pops the Dominus. He's looking for a fight because he knows his turret's gone. Shelly's going to make sure of that. One more auto for Rookie will send it over. Does Way want the re-engage? That's a pretty scary Renekton at this point in the game, so they'll just take the turret, they'll take the gold. Sobero's going to get that reset off. Jway, you cannot stay here. Your top laner is gone. All right, so we're going to trade the turrets here. I think that's kind of a win for Top Esports because the Herald had to be used for IG to even set up that turret trade.
Oh, well, I do want to say for Invictus Gaming, Rookie has gotten a lot less attention on the side lane this game and has opened up a CS lead versus Cream. Already up 30 CS, got that turret in the top side.
Hella components done for Rookie, as you mentioned, on those 2 items. Wukong going to get 2 pretty strong items under his belt as well. This is where IG can feel comfortable taking a lot of fights, but they're going back to the same will of diving 369, who's popping the Dominus, surviving a lot of this initial burst. Luckily, though, with the Unbreakable Will, Jway can take up much of that turret, and they find the pick in a turret as well.
And they have 3 grubs. Like, this turret is paper mache between them and a Trinity Force Wukong. This is all with the Dragon still on the bottom side of the map. Jway,
nice
perfect
TP,
teleport timing on this. I think that this play is not real with Saboro still having ultimate.
He's going to cancel out the depth charge with a good unstoppable. Top Esports, Cream takes a turret shot. They're still all inning for this. They bring Jacci over. The wave is thinning. Dreadsign's going to land on a Dre. He's going to pop the Unbreakable. Sobero's trying to get rid of the wave. Jacci's going to crit shot Jway home. Good flash there out of Cream to get away from Sobero, who's desperately looking for a trade. And Jacci picks himself up a multi-kill, and they get the turret. The push and pull across the map really shining through for this game, too.
But IG get paid completely for this. I don't care that Saboro and Jway died here. I think it's completely negligible at this point. 369's trying to cancel Rookie. I don't care. We got another Dragon here for IG.
And could be a dead Croc. That's a flash out of 369. Yeah, this is, it feels like everything Top Esports is doing is kind of just second fiddle.
But Corki is going for the Jack of all trades and obviously had that elixir, so we'll have an extra point in some of his spells. Cream, can he summon a turret?
Dead.
No.
Yep, and he drifts right into Photic's waiting arms, so Cream is picked off on the bot side here. IG made it clear that is their part of the map now. Loses his flash into the Alistar, and now Nio's caught. They have TP's galore coming in here. They're trying to burst out Rookie, though, who gets caught. The Distort Flash will get Rookie out with a sliver of HP as Jacci needs time to reload. Re-engage on top of 369, who's trying to use the Dominus to buy him some space. But here comes Way coming through. This will be a huge Cyclone if he can land it. There's the knockup. They get onto Jacci. He's desperately trying to kite back. He does blow up Jway, but it sets up for the Natovo Strike pullback to finally kill off the Golden Goose, and now IG can turn their attention to the Purple Worm.
Handily to Invictus Gaming as Top Esports caught all over the map with their pants down. I mean, even just trying to find that aggressive look onto Jway, you have no control of the bottom side jungle here. So trying to make that happen in mid lane means that Jacci loses his flash. Fight.
Picture in picture, though, we're seeing a catch come across. They've got Rookie killed off. That's a nice, I'm going to assume it's a pillar into a Deadly Flourish there to get Rookie. 5 the initial engage from IG.
There is no Cataclysm, or there's no Wukong Cyclone, there's no Unbreakable
that
Will. This should be their fight to find.
Fogway, that did not seem like a good angle. They do barely get the Trundle out. Can they get Jachi some valuable auto attack time? Wei takes the Hextech portal in. Immediately tricksters himself back out. Photic tries to step up. Here comes Deadly Flurry, but Rookie is right there. Jachi immediately has to cancel it, but my God, does he get collected by Jachi. And there's a huge Shuriken shuffle, but again, Cream throws him into his 80k, but this time, Jachi says, no, I'm taking heads, not names.
369 on this Renekton, man. He comes in clutch with a good stun down onto Rookie and to Photic. Going over to top esports, single dragon anyway. I think it's a big nothing burger fight. A double teleport.
I don't think it is anymore. Yeah, no, they want this kill, and they want the gold onto Cream. Sobero, you are going down, my friend. This game is slowly swinging momentum-wise back in to top esports' wheelhouse. That should be Cream getting a huge amount of gold, and Ulk, I can say it now, I'm not getting baited by halfway through it. But you could feel the pressure points of a Deadly Flourish coming across, a big RFC shot in any of these frontliners. Oh my God, Fogway just engages on top of 5 people to knock up Photic. Is he really trying to walk his way out of here? Dway says no. Rookie takes that kill, but there's more range coming through here. Cream Sand Soldiers can set things up for some trade back damage, but it's putting them in a pretty precarious spot. Trying to lean back into that range, but you see the bottom side of the screen, Wei's trying to sneak the dragon. Deadly Flourish is going to claim Sobero. They use the depth charge to punt Rookie out of the fight, but there's the Shuriken shuffle down as well. Fungway is very low, and Rookie just pops him like a balloon. That's why we wanted to see the LeBlanc come out from Rookie, and now it is going to be IG securing hexsoul, and that could be the death mark on this game too for top esports.
A little too much tank frontline there, and Fengyue, no flash, no heal, no life. Top esports will now move into this. We're getting a teleport here from 369 and from Cream. They could just collapse.
Yep, and they're going to jump right on top of him. Cream flashes away from Rookie, does get over the chain. Nayo's trying to walk himself back in, but Photic says no. Pillar is going to slow Photic up. They need to get Jachi in, but they're too separated. Sobero throws himself right into Cream's waiting arms. Does he have enough tank stats? He goes all out. 369 flashes out. Photic finds that kill. Jachi trying to step up to crit shot onto Photic. Sobero very low. The front line is starting to crumble a bit for IG. They're trying to cower back, but Dway's going to find that kill. Everybody flashing on top of each other. Jachi caught with a big root. Can Cream push any of this damage out? Fogway, Cream standing in the middle, but the Zanyas will not save the last damage dealer for top esports. IG, they see their front line crumble, just sets up for their carries to come on through here. Clean up time for Photic, and that will be the ace for IG, 2 members strong.
This LeBlanc is a massive problem in these fights. We've seen it time and time again. Rookie gets right into the back line, and he's poking all of the members out from top esports, so they never have time to stand their ground. Baron goes over to IG.
Baron power play. We have turned the corner, IG. It's probably helping they have this hextech and Rookie who could delete any of these carries he can get his hands on here.
You're worried potentially about Cream, who is now level 16 and is completely farming up Cream. What the hell?
Oh, he got Dway off of him, though. He kind of baits in the Alistar, pops the Unbreakable Will. This time, Curtain Call not mispositioned. Jachi does not miss his shots. Dway goes down. They turn their attention to Sobero, trying to eliminate these front lines time after time, but the all-out pulls Nayo into the waiting arms of Wei. He shreds his resistances, but boy, does he set up for an easy pick on a Nayo. And that forces top esports out of their chase with a 1-for-1 trade. Call him onto the rift, and top esports, it feels like they're just so out of sorts to try and force their way towards this pit. They've gambled going through the bot side. They've sacked mid-lane wave completely, but look how dark that side of the river is. It's a very scary prospect with 369 still yet to TP, but they want to start the Elder Dragon up. Here comes the TP for 369. Battle line's drawn. How much work can Rookie get done? Because the first time he distorts, he gets poked out. Caught with a Deadly Flourish. Has to Zanya's the Curtain Call. Can Wei get in there to cancel it? Rookie's going to try and just double distort out. But they've gotten rid of Rookie early on. Emperor's Divine's going to buy space for Cream and Jachi to free hit this front line. Wei tries to go into the background. There's the all-out for Sobero. On to Cream. Jachi, he's able to take down Dway. And Rookie cannot get in. No damage for IG can get through. And the Elder is going to reset to about 11k. But this is top esports to take. Wei is even going to look at a steal angle. Again, IG crumble with the red carpet rolled out for him.
38-minute Baron on the cards here. Top esports will have this and the Elder Dragon for the next minute, as IG are going to lose all of the gold lead. This gold graph is going to look like a complete clown fiesta at the end of this game.
The LPL Fiesta, just the way we like it. Fun fact, we've had 5 Barons taken in this series. This is Top Esports' first one. Oh my god, Nayo. Oh my god, Nayo. Okay, all right, well, you called it. Rookie still hurts. Rookie still hurts.
6 items at this point completely obliterates the structure. No standing outer structures for either team. A massive flank potentially coming through as Way's gonna look. Jotchi still has flash.
They have Elder for about 20 seconds longer by this point.
Yes.
This last wave coming up, they should have it. Oh, they spotted Way. They know the flake's coming through, but Top Esports, they don't care. They're going right down mid lane. Are they going to try to finish this off with Elder now? Their Elder is going to tick away. TES, you don't want to overextend here too far. 369 is going to pop the Dominus. Jotchi just deletes these turrets, though. First Nexus turret's going to go down. When do IG look for the turn? Nayo is sectioning off Way. Sobero's getting chunked, but they're setting up a bit of a pincer. Way's trying to cut off their escape. 369 gets a bit chunk damage down, but as long as Jotchi is standing, how do IG make anything work? Finally, Jotchi gets hit down about half HP. Rookie goes forward, gets caught in the Zanyas, and there forward is Fogway. Rookie is barely getting himself out. His Way on the backside has killed off Nayo. And they're going to try and chase that Way. He flashes himself out of the first curtain call. TPs are coming behind. Cream is going to throw up a turret to try and protect, but Top Esports have to usher out Mr. President Jotchi. Protect him well. Baron's going to expire, but that crystalline overgrowth basically gets rid of that bot tier 3 turret. And another way in for Top Esports. There are no Nexus turrets still up. Those are yet to respawn as we have a fight on 2 fronts starting. Fongway is going to engage on a Sobro. Rookie tries to go in. Chunk Scream to about half HP. That's a nice little bit of poke. But Top Esports get what they're coming for. Weird curtain call comes out here from Jotchi. But Rookie's too scared to really go after him. He doesn't hit any of his shots, and now he's a bit overextended.
Good enough. Maybe Top Esports just look for something now.
But Rookie over the wall. He gets towards Jotchi. He flashes out. He still has his GA. And Cream is going to shove all of the front line of IG away from their carries. Nayo is hammering out away. Goes into the GA. 369 blinking health bar. Does get himself out. Re-engage with Sobero. But Jotchi's still untouched. And now Cream finally fully scaled up. This is the rage. And the repeated blows to the head until Rookie throws himself in. Photic has enough damage. But Jotchi's full HP. Crit shot onto Rookie. Nearly takes him out all on his own. Nayo gets himself out. We calm things back down with a curtain call. Jotchi can't hit his shot. He can only get 1 in the chamber. Sobro back on the map. Way back on the map. Everybody back and available on the map. I do not care about that tier 3 turret going down the top lane. Thank you for the picture though. And Zervers, how do we set back up for this Elder now?
We need to be fighting now. We need to start this. 369 has no teleport. There's going to be a 10-second window where Renekton will not be here and they will have numbers advantage. IG, great vision denial for the time being. They are shredding this dragon. How does Nayo get in?
How does 369 get here in time? Oh my god, it's going to be a 50-50. Nayo, can you win the smite battle? Dwayne says no. Can IG get the Elder? Yes, Way has it, but they have to sacrifice a member to do so. Sobro comes down. Curtain call's going to open up. There's no front line left for IG, but they try to re-engage. Dwayne's going to go down. Way tries to get these big knockups to find some of these Elder resets, but Jotchi's untouched. Nobody can get towards this core. Rookie evaporates his health bar. GA goes down. Nayo's done. Rookie is going to save the series for IG. Absolute cinema in the LPL, and there's the Elder scream out to finish it off. We're going the distance.
There's a teleport available for Rookie. That's it. I mean, the death timers are way too long. They have a mid-wave and still 3 grubs. What the hell was this game, and why did we have to be in here for another 15 minutes? IG, they really played with their food in this one and just barely squeak out a game win.
Their Nexus exposed, their determination unwavering. We're going to a game 3, and
this champion just dies, and suddenly IG have no position going into fights.
I like that one point you made, though, that really sells me on the Onivia, is the drawback to picking Mundo jungle is you intrinsically take a lot of threat on lanes for ganks out of the game. So.
And not going to be missed out on. To augment your Yorick point, if the best position he's going to have is just putting down the Dark Procession. Oh boy.
No, Polymorph. Is the barrier enough? Photic.
Oh my!
Jotchi flashes right over that Unihara W. The Jotchi show is not over yet, folks.
for them. And for top esports, they just have a big burst composition, especially with this bottom lane. Now Mundo's here again.
Oh, Fengwei hits another big root onto Photic. That forces out the wild growth. Jotchi can use the barrier just to buy some time. Lights go out. They're going after Fengwei. Wei executes him brilliantly. Forces Jotchi also to flash away from helping out Nayo. Photic, no mana. Health is going to go down. Makes the maximum dosage. Nayo fights that kill. Cream has the Realm Warp.
Oh, he
doesn't come along. I don't think
Cream!
he took it, and that's going to force, Nayo to fall. Yeah, I just want to get to this replay. This
no,
is
there's
like
a Herald. We can't do this. It's probably going to come after this objective.
Well, you're actually right. Herald does follow Grubs, so
True.
had to get you back. Had to get you back for that one.
I know.
Yeah. All right, Nayo, TP. All right, here we go.
Conversation with Ernest.
Yeah, and the other like bar that used to be measured full is like the potential, right? But every year it's wasted. Every time you see plays like that, it's depleting, right? Or like this, you could also argue like the patience with a player like Cream, because you know an org as historical as top esports.
A pretty big change. Can they turn? There's no Sional. This is.
Oh,
this
there
is
it is.
risky.
Sional goes wide. There's a fierce up to decimating smash though. That's a nice little CC chain. 369 is dead, and Sobro is going to take the kill. That is a big win for the weak side Sion.
That's good. But I love this from Rookie. Shadowing, goes into Fog of War, traps Cream as well.
Photic transcended, flashes away for the Pop Blossom, and it's only going to grab the support. So Jway gets himself out.
Photic is not going to have this flash available for either the Herald that's spawning or the Dragon in 3 minutes time.
Jotchi walked on a ward. Oh, he sent the trap. Cream is going to take the portal this time, get the Rune Prism. Wild Growth on Photic is throwing hands back. Jotchi is just evaporated just like that. And Cream, I mean, the Realm Warp is nice to bring a man in, but this Rise needs time to scale. There wasn't enough damage there. The power of Enchanter Jway been pretty darn quiet in this series compared to Jotchi. How poetic would it be for him to have such a iconic, but come on, man. The caster curse is so real. Is he really about to get run down right here? All right, the lights go out. The Pop Blossom is going to hit on a Photic. He actually does get out of it. That sets Way up with the power up from the Lulu speed to find Fengwei again. Wrong place, wrong time for that engage, or right place, right time for the Way turnaround.
And until Kai'Sa hits 2 and 3 items, I'm not really worried about them as Yunara. And Yunara can match now thanks to things like the Fiend Hunter bolts available to them later on.
Stoppable onslaught. Sobro trying to buy space. 369 going to flash on the Decimating Smash. Gets the slow, brings more ghouls up. Main wants to get swifty here with the Yorick. Sobro's going to flash now. He's looking for the turn. Gets a big shield. 369 is out of mana. And yep, Way seems to be everywhere on the map. The ghouls, though, are going to make it. So 369 finds himself an even trade.
Little worried about it now. Rookie even teleports for this play. So look, IG, they get a turn on the top side. Way's getting a lot of gold. Another advantage being gathered here by the veteran jungler of Invictus.
Response. We're going to test how durable this Mundo can be because he's already down to half HP. Holding on to that maximum dosage. That's maybe what is holding Way from falling through this paranoia. But once again, Nayo, you're going to respect IG's lead and kind of just leash this dragon. So IG, 2 Drakes, 3K gold lead. Dare I say we've been here before?
12. It's an okay trade, but I'll be honest here. I've been kind of trying to, make sense of some of the flash trades I've been seeing from Fengwei, and he is just way too aggressive. He is not at all dialed into either his own damage and capabilities.
All of his flashy engage plays. He opts in to play this Lulu, and it really makes the difference how much harder of a life it is for Nico to go into an Enchanter. See if they can get that passive form out of the Onivia. At the very least, it does force Rookie to back off of this turret. Cream collects so much valuable gold. Pay dividends. Also, to get that out of this top esports comp would be very terrifying. And they're going to TP.
Oh, it's gone. Wait, why are we not finishing this? Just pull it. It doesn't matter if he's TPing.
Way flashed over the wall, and Way just steals it. Nayo didn't even have a chance, and is Way really just going to walk out of the pit? Sobro ults out. IG, highway robbery, hello? Are they going to be punished at all? Pop Blossom onto 3 from Fengwei. They're going to try and drop all the damage onto Rookie, but the re-engage comes across from Way. Fengwei is taken out. Sobro is so darn tanky that he's taking a full dishing of damage from both Cream and Jotchi. It doesn't matter. Photic transcends. They've got Way to provide frontline. Cream has to flash over a nice position. Rookie, Onivia wall. Slow lands onto Sobro. Maximum dosage now has to come out. Got a lot of low health bars, but IG Do they really need to chase? They won the Dragon. They don't land the Flash Frost stun, but 369 still has to flash over, well, 2 walls that are created in front of him.
We need it this game, though. We need it for sure. I mean, versus Sion, getting that Giant Slayer passive, biggest change on the patch for this season is getting Giant Slayer back into LDR. Maybe that'll be something that can turn it. I mean, again, Rookie's also stacking a hell of a lot of HP. Fungway is just dead.
Damn. Frostbite right to the dome. And bot lane, not even any better, because Wei is in all lanes at the same time, and this time he's decided, I'm going to hunt down 369, who is actually trying to see if he can kill Wei off. Back mid lane, Photic is wild growth, transcended, all the above, and, well, he's got himself a kill. Cream going to go down, and it just feels like IG are winning everywhere and anywhere. Not that this is a Mountain Soul. I mean, you mentioned it, like the defensive scaling items of Rookie, his health bar's fat, Wei is built pretty bruiser, and do not give Sobero a 28-minute Mountain Soul and expect to win this game, Top Esports. I don't care how much you've overcome. Wei daring Nio to go 50-50 on the smite with him because he's won all of them, and this time Nio wins the coin flip. That is pretty big. Top Esports keep themselves alive at least in one category, that being Dragon Soul.
Ends up landing. So the fact that we took that is a little bit worrisome in my mind here. 36-9 trying to extend on the side lane.
Oh, he just dropped the little dome to try and make sure Sobro couldn't get in, so Wei bit and is going to chomp down. 369 caught on the side wave, so 1 pressure point down for Top Esports the next minute. Mundo's health bar is going to get halved in the blink of an eye, and that's huge into a comp like this.
Yeah. One thing that we haven't actually seen too much, and I wish people would explore this a lot more, is because you have ability haste for your ultimate on this item, basic spells cost more. Baron is being started, and completely no contest here for Top Esports. Nio is going to have to, he has no flash to get in.
Nope, and he lost his spell shield. He dodges the unstoppable onslaught. Slow still lands. Nio should go down. The redemption doesn't come across. Re-engage from Wei. Pop possible to 3, but Fungway, none of your team can get over Rookie's ice wall. So the pop blossom falls flat. There's a double frost stun coming across as well. Wei fully comfortable with the wild growth. Another huge wall comes across for Rookie. Another stun layered.
Game's over. Fair enough. They knew, maybe they knew Nio was going to go down there. Baron goes over. Dragon in 2 minutes here.
Jotchi, you mad, lad?
This doesn't matter, though. Like, Jotchi's on the complete wrong side. And you could just get long chased out here for the rest of the fight. I mean,
I think
Wei's going to have his... Wei can have his ultimate soon. Like, cool, he landed a 3-man. Where's your damage dealers?
We've seen this story before, but not with Rookie. Nice little Flash Frost stun into the Frost Bite. Numbing up 369 with the cold and sending him back to the gray screen again. It's rinse and repeat for the IG jungler.
Is that Baron? I mean, you still have it for 2 minutes. It should be a very easy, simple map rotation. Let Sion push the mid wave and we'll rejoin with him afterwards. As long as you can push on the opposite side of the map, I think Dragon is such a good objective.
He's got to go back to base, so, I mean, is this not the best inhibitor to get down to with that Dragon spawning? A wave all the way across the map, going to be providing supers now?
A lot of their vision has been put in the top side, though, so they're going to be walking in blind to this river.
With 3 full tank items, good luck, Top Esports. All right, we've had 2 50-50s. Each jungler has won a coin flip, but I have a feeling this time Wei doesn't really want to 50-50 this. He might not have a choice if Nio has his CC barrier up, which he still holds on to. They're just going to go after the Yorick, and Photic melts him. The Realm Warp is just a bluff, and now all of Top Esports to push off the Dragon. Sobro's going to get the double knockup. Fungway, Pop Blossom, it's all just hitting onto the Scion, and there goes Wei in for the killer blow. Cream and the Mundo evaporated. The slow of the W from Photic. They're just going to TP to the base. They don't need the Mountain Soul. It might have taken 2 whole games, but IG might have finally figured out how to close out a game and close out their first round robin in Split 1 with a win over Top Esports 2-1.
Wow, what is IG, man? We somehow are able to lose to AL, to PLG, but we lose to Weibo, but we beat JDG and Top Esports. What a weird group this is on the other side of Group Ascent here. Another kill goes over to Photic, and IG will take this series 2-1, sending us to a 6-game day here.